What if I told you that Scott Metzger, owner of Metzger McGuire, New Hampshire, is not only a die-hard Chicago Cubs fan, but that he grew up blocks away from Wrigley Field, the same place where he developed a side hustle for selling sports cards that continues to this day. This is all true. Young Scott was born and raised in the Windy City, where his fondest childhood memories were of trips downtown with his grandmother, who would spoil he and his brother. First, it was lunch at the Woolworth's counter and a flashy new toy. Then, it was onto the book floor at Marshall Fields, where they could choose 2 brand new books. This is key. It was those weekend trips with his grandmother that instilled in him a great sense of intellectual curiosity and a passion for reading that stays with him to this day. And did I mention that his family also moved into a bona fide haunted house? They called it the Shining House. It is no wonder that while attending college at the University of New Mexico, Scott fell further in love with the written word and found his way onto the school newspaper, the first in his family to have gone to and completed college. From there, he got a job at a weekly newspaper and created his own successful travel column called The Trailblazer. Traveling from town to town, Scott wrote about local history and culture, and then paired that with advertising from local town businesses, which worked well for all involved. It was at this point, while toying with taking a position at an advertising agency, that Scott's dad called and asked if he would be interested in coming to work at Metzger McGuire in a marketing capacity. As for Metzger McGuire, when Scott's grandfather suffered a heart attack that left him unable to work, Scott's father, Steve Metzger, dropped out of college to support the family. Steve landed a job as an estimator for the W.J. McGuire Company in Northbrook, Illinois, which is still in business today. Steve identified a need in the industry for better product to protect joint edges. He finally found the right formula. That's when MM80 semi-rigid epoxy joint filler was born. From there, with continued growth and additional products, the rest, as they say, is history. Of course, with the new gig, Scott missed his writing, but as he continued traveling and meeting people in the surface prep industry, he began to truly recognize and appreciate what his father had built. He also understood that there are lots of ways to make a difference in the world, and that providing joint protection systems are one of them. Thus the motto, known by the floors we protect. Today, Scott is very happy with the continued development and expansion of the Metzger McGuire brand, the brand that he's built over the past 30 years. He's even prouder of the team that makes Metzger McGuire customer and technical support second to none. And when things get tough, as they inevitably do during a supply chain crisis, he turns to the Rocky movies for wisdom and motivation. Also, it never hurts to have grown up down the street from Wrigley, as he was raised to believe that being a Cubs fan builds character, and to follow the optimism that next year will always be better. And speaking of better, what does a Rocky fan like Scott like to do to wind down? He enjoys a cool New England IPA from Treehouse, his favorite brewery, while contemplating screenplay ideas for the next Creed movie. From that first newspaper column he created fresh out of college, Scott Metzger continues to trailblaze in an industry that treasures the rare gifts he brings to the table. And yes, this includes his famous or infamous Elvis impressions. He's a dedicated family man with 3 wonderful children, Lauren, Emily, and Ryan, all of whom are entering, attending, or have just graduated college. Scott's wife Lisa retired from teaching and got her real estate license last year. Right now, they have a black lab named Rocky, who enjoys visits from his cousin Phil, a yellow lab. Scott is pressing for another lab, which he plans to name either Apollo or Adonis, because Rocky needs another member of his wolf pack. So, this is the true Scott Metzger, a sports card collecting, Rocky movie watching, Cubs fan gone good, who is also a devoted family man and forward-thinking business owner who has taken the surface prep world by storm. Here's to you, Scott, for keeping it real.